Greetings, Japan fans. In today's show, we're going to look at innovation. Maishu, arigatou gozaimasu, and welcome back to the 9th year of the Leadership Japan series. And I'm your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy committed to your success, president of Dale Carnegie Training Tokyo, Japan, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery. My new book in Japanese, Za Eigyo, is available on Amazon. We are broadcasting around the world from Minato-ku in the center of Tokyo, the leadership capital of Japan. This podcast brings insights, examples, and experience about leading in Japan. And trust me, it is different here. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn, who, unlike many other podcast hosts, have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesdays, the Presentations Japan series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Before we get going, today's handy Japanese phrase is Massugu onegai shimasu. Massugu onegai shimasu. So if you want to go straight, you're in the cab and you want the driver to keep going straight, or you're with a friend and you want them to keep going straight, you just say Massugu onegai shimasu. Massugu onegai shimasu. Probably you wouldn't say onegai shimasu to a friend. That's probably a bit too formal. You'd probably just say Massugu, Massugu, Massugu kudasai maybe. Massugu kudasai. That's probably more likely. Onegai shimasu is a bit too polite, I think, in that case. So maybe if it was with a client, if you're in a taxi, you've got a client with you, and you're telling the taxi driver where to go, you want to appear to be polite, so you'd say, Massugu onegai shimasu. Massugu onegai shimasu. Massugu onegai shimasu. This is episode number 443. And today we're talking about the innovation process for leaders. Doing more, faster, better, with less is inescapable in modern commerce. The demands just keep going up, and the resources available always seem to be tightening. We find ourselves in a vicious vice of contradictions without end. And then we have this global pandemic to just make it all that much more character building. Have I depressed you enough? How do we get out of this mess? What can we do to improve on the situation? Getting innovative ideas is critical for our businesses to survive, but how do we generate creative ideas? No matter how genius the boss, there are limits to how many worthwhile ideas can be generated by one individual. Also, the further you climb up the greasy pole within organizations, the further you get away from the coalface of what is really going on. The most recent, most junior hire may have the best ideas. The organization's employee generation, which best reflects the profile of the buyer or the buyer's customers, may have the best insights. The problem is, we rarely ask either group. My various bosses holding the whiteboard markers and standing there demanding ideas which were filleted upon arrival is still burnt into my mind as the worst way to generate creative ideas. There are better ways to get ideas, and we have a 9-step innovation process tool to do just that. Step 1, visualization. What is our goal or objective? What does success look like? What is our should-be case? We have to be clear what we are striving to achieve, because if that target isn't clear, well, we have little chance of achieving it. Step 2, fact-finding. We need to get the facts. We look at the who, what, when, where, why, and how of situations. We defer judgment about facts and concentrate on collecting them. Sometimes we realize we have faulty or poor data collection systems, or worse, we discover errors. We need to work hard to establish the measurement systems needed to generate valuable data and to start looking for creative solutions to problems. Step 3, problem or opportunity finding. The way we state a problem influences whether we get useful or creative input. Our objective is to defer judgment and become crystal clear about what the real problem is. This sounds easy, but ask 5 people what is the main problem and you may get 8 opinions. We need to do some preliminary investigation to understand what is holding us back or where we are wasting valuable resources. Sprinting hard and fast in the wrong direction is not helpful. Find out more. We come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public programs, but we also do custom-made in-house classes. Now, we do them in our super safe classroom, we do them live online, and we do them in Japanese, and we do them in English. Today's show is being sponsored by, on the 2nd of February, the Dale Carnegie course. It's a flagship course for the Dale Carnegie training system. On the 3rd of February, we have high-impact presentations, phenomenal program, 2 instructors, everything videoed, massive coaching, incredible value. Confident English on the 8th of February. This is helping all of those Japanese team members who have been studying Eikaiwa, English lessons, but still don't want to speak up because they don't have the confidence. On the 14th of February, we're doing leadership training for managers. Most Japanese managers have had 0 training in how to lead, so let's fix that problem. Our website is www.dale-carnegie, carnegie.co.jp. You can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have over 1,000 for you there at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. Get my best-selling books, Japan Sales Mastery, the Bible for selling in Japan, and Japan Business Mastery, as well as my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's a premier business show in Japan, comes out Mondays. Fridays, we have Japan Business Mastery Show. Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders in Japan from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. Don't forget, you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. Step 4, idea finding. No judgmental thinking is permitted at this stage. We're trying to collect as many ideas as possible and are after volume of ideas, not quality of ideas at this point. This is not how things are normally done. So we need to police this stage very carefully. Often, participants in the idea generation process will want to start evaluating ideas as they arrive. We have to set some very clear rules. One, which is extremely important, is to insist all the idea generation is done in silence. Oh, this sounds easy, but I've always been surprised how fast the quick thinkers get bored with the process and want to talk with their colleagues. We need to shut them down and let the deeper thinkers do their thing. Number 5, step 5, solution finding. This is where we use judicial thinking. We're trying to identify the best ideas. Up until this point, we may have been able to restrain the bolshy, super confident, assertive few, but now they can easily come into their own and dominate which ideas are taken up. This can also be tricky, as juniors will defer to seniors and everyone will defer to rank. We need to make sure that we have a system to choose the best ideas. In Japan, this process usually means arriving at a consensus. We have to make sure that isn't just an easy consensus to reflect seniority and superior status. Step 6, acceptance finding. We will need to convince decision makers for support for the ideas, and that will mean time, money, and personnel. This is where we need to sell our ideas, because if we want money or resources for the project, then we will be competing with other options. Our communication and persuasion skills are critical in this step. Step 7, implementation. This is where we execute on the ideas. We need to set the plan, consider who does what, by when, how much budget, which resources we need, etc. Clarity around responsibilities is very important, and everyone has to know what they are accountable for and by when. Step 8, follow-up. We don't want to micromanage the execution of the plan, but we also don't want to neglect to check everything is on track. You think the project team are zigging, but you realize they are zagging instead. Best to know that earlier rather than later. Step 9, evaluation. Did we get the results we planned for? Was all of the effort worth it? What did we learn, which we can apply to other projects? The whole team should be involved in this stage to make sure the learnings are reinforced. It is surprising how many companies have no common process for generating ideas and creativity. One process, constantly repeated, becomes very efficient and effective. These 9 steps are the structure needed to start to build your own internal system for idea creation. Make this law, and good habits will become solidified and consecrated into the organization's DNA. Thank you for joining the Leadership Japan series. If you found the program useful, then share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Take what you found valuable, immediately put into action, because idea application is what makes winners winners. Be one of them. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.